Okay, today I'm so happy. I'm so happy, and I can't wait to share the news with you guys. So, are you ready for it? Let me spill the beans. And to think it was hassle free, it wasn't as challenging as I thought. Hello beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. I love you already. And if you're watching my video for the first time, I'm Esther Malayo by name, and this channel I educate people on health related issues in order to promote their health, prevent illness, and ultimately lead a healthy lifestyle. If these are the things you're looking forward to, ensure you subscribe, and I hope you have an amazing time here. Okay, today I'm so happy. I'm so happy, and it's all glaring on me that I am super excited today, and I can't wait to share the news with you guys. So, are you ready for it? Let me spill the beans. So the news is that my twins are 6 months already, and I was able to successfully breastfeed them exclusively for the first 6 months of their lives. And to think it was hassle free, it wasn't as challenging as I thought it would be. Like, I was thinking, oh, I don't think I'll be able to do this, but we did it. So that brought me to the topic we'll be having today. Today I'll be sharing with you tips to successful breastfeeding. You know, I'm not talking to you as a nurse or anything. I'm talking to you as a pro. Yeah, beside my accolades. Okay, I'm talking to you as a mother of three, not just mother of three other three. I'm coming here to relate with breastfeeding mothers as one of them. So as I'm giving the tips, I'll be sharing my experiences gradually as well, so that you have an idea of what breastfeeding twins look like and how it can also help you in breastfeeding your babies. I would like to say this before I start this tips to successful breastfeeding is there will be some women that will not be able to breastfeed due to one ailment or the other, or due to the circumstances around them at that point in time. This might not even be due to health reason, it might just be personal reason. So this video is not to shame anybody. This video is not to discourage you using formula to feed your baby. A happy baby is a well-fed baby. The goal is to have a healthy and happy baby. This video is just a way of encouraging mothers that wants to breastfeed their babies and they are finding it difficult to do so. So this is not to shame anyone at all. Now, let's dive right in. The first point on my list is staying together with your baby after birth. This helps me during my first delivery. I was able to have the skin to skin period with my daughter, although the milk wasn't coming out at first, but by the time she stayed with me over time, it has a way of promoting feeling of closeness and a strong hormonal response that is linked with breastfeeding success. During my second pregnancy, when I gave birth, I wasn't able to breastfeed them at first because of my health status at that point in time. I wasn't able to breastfeed them. It's not that I don't want to, but I just can't. So the midwife was asking if they can express for them because they were actually hungry and they were crying. So they were able to get one meal because it wasn't really coming out at that point in time. So they got one meal and my husband took that, was feeding twin one, while the midwife was trying to get another for the twin two, and eventually she was able to get another one meal, which she was able to feed the twin two as well. After a few hours, I was able to breastfeed them by myself. So it wasn't that I was able to initiate breastfeeding this time. Like my first baby, I initiated breastfeeding immediately. That does not limit me, or that does not stop me from doing it for my twins as well. Just to let you know that if your health status does not permit it at that point in time, it is absolutely fine. But if your health status permits it, it is good for you because it promotes closeness and a strong hormonal response that is linked with breastfeeding success. The second point on my list is that you should get your position right and ensure that you latch correctly. So many people comes down with sore or cracked nipples and the likes. You need to get your positioning and latching correctly. I will make a video. I'll teach us on how to latch correctly, because it is very essential in this journey, so that you don't get tired or get frustrated during the journey. I'm proud to tell you that I don't have any of those things because I was able to latch correctly. So yeah, it's possible if you latch correctly and you get your positioning right. You have to ensure that your baby latch correctly and ensure that you position your baby very well, and ensure that you also you are sitting in a very comfortable position, and this will help you in the journey, and this will also help your baby to be able to know how to latch correctly, so you wouldn't have any problem during breastfeeding. So the first few weeks of their lives is for you to teach them how to latch properly. Yeah, they are newborn, but they learn. Yeah, they can also learn. Believe you me, my babies learn how to latch correctly. I don't have any problem with latching with them. Another thing that helps me in this journey is that I feed on demand. When you feed on demand, your breast milk will adjust to how much to produce and the likes, so you not have any problem with low milk supply, and your baby will not be so fuzzy. It's good to feed on demand because it doesn't stress me, especially the first few weeks of their lives. They tend to feed about 7 to 12 times in 24 hours, like every 2 hours. Sometimes it's not even up to 2 hours interval when I feed them. So try and feed on demand, and you will know that breastfeeding is a lot easier when you feed on demand. So another thing on my list is that you have to be patient. Yes, breastfeeding requires patience, because there are some times that your baby will need to feed more, and there are some times that your baby does not feed that much. You have to be patient because both of you are learning, especially if you're a first-time mom. Both your child and you are both learning on how to go about it. Don't get frustrated. If you are frustrated, try and take some time out, give the baby to someone to pamper for you while you get yourself together, so that you don't pass on frustration, because breastfeeding should be done in a relaxed mode. You should be relaxed, your baby should be relaxed, you should be psychologically prepared, mentally balanced, for you to be able to have a successful breastfeeding journey. Another pro tips that I will be giving you is that keep your baby in the room with you. Yes, it makes you to be able to know when your baby wants to feed, when your baby needs cuddle. You just get to know more of your baby, and then promote this breastfeeding as well. Another important thing that it prevents is sudden infant death, because you'll be able to be with your baby all the time during those periods that sudden infant death is common, especially the first few months of their lives. I love it when it is a win-win thing. Another point on my list is that breastfeeding requires commitment. Why do I say commitment? There are some times you want to go out, but because you have a baby that breastfeed every 2 hours at home, that's kind of a restriction that you cannot go out. So you might need to express. If you are not expressing, you might need to take the baby out with you. Sometimes if you are going out, you need to take your time to, as a way of being committed to your baby, you need to express down. And if you are like me, that when I go out, I don't like breastfeeding my baby outside, I make sure that they are well fed before we go out. Nevertheless, I don't want to be caught unawares. There are clothes we can wear when we are going out that can help us breastfeed outside. Things like this is what I use outside. Peradventure, my baby really needs to breastfeed, so I'm able to use this outside if I want to breastfeed my baby, and it doesn't affect anybody. It doesn't attract any unsolicited advice, because no one is seeing me, and I can look at my baby from here, watch what my baby is doing. So, but really most of the times I don't need to breastfeed them outside. This is just should in case they want to. Another point on my list is that we should always ask for help. Breastfeeding, motherhood requires lots of hard work, and it can be overwhelming and stressful. So if you see people around that can be of help, always ask for help, ask for support. Don't be like I can do it, I can do that, it can be overwhelming and it can be tiring sometimes that might make you give up on breastfeeding. So if you need help, try and ask for help, okay? Another point on my list is ignore negativity. There will be so many advice, so many comments, so many opinions that are so unsupportive that you'll be hearing. Just don't put your mind to it. Just focus on you giving your baby the best. Don't let it affect you at all. Don't let it discourage you. Don't let it affect when or where to breastfeed your baby or how to breastfeed your baby, because sometimes you can be getting comments that are not supportive, that are not encouraging, but you just have to ignore it and focus on the goal, which is breastfeeding your baby. And the last point on my list is take one day at a time. Every day with a newborn is unique. There are good days, there are challenging days. At the beginning of the journey, you might find it difficult, but trust me, you get better at it, and all the stress at the long run, they're worth it. Be patient with yourself, keep working at it, and know that breastfeeding gets easier over time. Let me share with you one of the challenging periods for me. For instance, whenever my babies go for their vaccine, their immunization, sometimes they will be so cranky and they need much more cuddle and the likes, and you might want to feed more. Those periods can be so challenging, but before you know it, the time flies so quickly. Trust me, it gets easier over time. So let me quickly add this to it. There are some things you don't have to worry about while you are breastfeeding, and some people see them as a concern. Like if your baby only feeds for about 5 minutes, it doesn't it's not a cause for concern. Sometimes they are not that hungry, so they might just want to feed little, but that does not mean that anything is wrong, or maybe they are not getting enough milk supply. No, some people will be like, oh, I have low milk supply, that's why my baby is not feeding well. Not at all. At that point in time, that is what your baby needs, so it shouldn't be of a concern. And there are some times as well that your baby tends to feed more. That is what we call cluster feeding. That happens most times in the evening when they are going to bed, or when there is what we call growth spots. This happens sometimes 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 2 months. Especially at 6 months, there will definitely be growth spots. So they might want to feed more during that time when they are trying to grow more, so it's normal for them. Your milk will definitely adjust to that. So don't be like, oh, this baby needs more food. Some people will say, on your yomo in my dialect. That means that the breast milk is not enough for the baby any longer. So that's not the point. It's because of that period of time the baby is having a growth spot and the baby needs more milk at that point in time. The breast milk will definitely adjust to what your baby needs. So you don't have to be worried if your baby is feeding more. If your babies feed more like every hour and they spend like 30 minutes on one breast, it's absolutely fine, because that's what their body requires at that point in time. It's not that the milk is not enough for them or something like that. So it's not a concern. It's not something you should be worried about. Another thing that tends to worry mothers, especially the first time mom, is that when they express, especially when they use their hands or when they use the pump, they might think that, oh, the breast milk is not even much. Maybe my baby is definitely not getting enough. Why trying to breastfeed directly? No, your baby's is actually much more effective in getting the milk out than the pump. So you might want to learn more about how to use pump or how to express effectively. So don't be worried about you're not getting enough breast milk when you're using the pump. The milk production knows how to adjust itself for what your baby actually needs. So it's nothing to be worried about. One last thing, on this channel I'll be introducing what we call my health professionals and I. If there is any of these topics that I've spoken about but you still have questions or you want to make some clarifications, just pop it into the comment section. I'll be inviting professionals to this channel to answer those questions for us. They will be sharing with us from their wealth of knowledge, from their experiences, even if it is not related to whatever I have said, but if you want to make clarification as regard your health, Yeah, feel free to put it there. They will definitely answer them, and if I need to make video on them as well, I will definitely do so. Feel free to ask any of your questions and we will definitely get in touch. This will be the end of this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you all for watching again. I love you all. Bye bye.